Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. It's me, Smitty. I always start out with I don't know what it is. It's just it just seems to be a good filler. Anyway, let's see. There I go again. So in the last video, we got the center support to sit down in there. So what goes on top of this is the intermediate clutch, second gear, in other words. So for those, that's this set here, and I will be putting some fluid on those. But since we're going to do that one first, we'll go ahead and throw those in the bucket. And yes, I always soak my clutches. I just always have. Yeah, we're back at it. Okay. Here me and that first things first, on that second gear or intermediate clutch is the wave plate. As you can see, it's got fingers. Fingers go down, and it just sits down in this case down here, just kind of like that. And start with a steel plate, and there is a notch cut out in the bottom. I usually put that at 6 o'clock. Again, you gotta hold your tongue right. Alright, time for some clutches. There's four of these fibers. And you guys can use about any transmission fluid. After 2006, it was Dextron 6. It is backwards compatible. I'm using Amsoil's Blue OE, which is equivalent to Dextron 6. When I had my own shop, I used that fluid pretty religiously on pretty much all of them. I kept the red top in stock. I got that one off a tooth. Alright, sorry about that, y'all. I had to set you down because I couldn't do both with one spot. But anyway, you stack your clutch out, and then your top plate is the really thick one. That's your pressure plate. And then make sure that your snap ring is about the 9 o'clock position, so you have maximum engagement on your fingers all the way around. And then to check that clutch, you'll put air right down in this center support hole here, and then that'll engage your clutch. Alright, like I said, put air in your center support bolt hole down there. And that's just air leaking past the bolt, because I don't have the bolt in there right now, which is fine. Well, this is where I say insert video here. Except for I have a whole section of videos missing. I don't know what happened to it, but anyway, the whole part where it was installing the direct and the forward clutches, or the clutch assemblies. I have no idea what happened to it, so I got to apologize up front for that. So we're going to skip right into putting the fourth clutch together and installing the pump. Again, I apologize for that. If it is a big deal, I can I've got another one tore down out there that's in pieces, and I can kind of show you how it goes together. But I think by now you'll get the general idea. Plus, I covered it in kind of outside bench-wise in another video. So again, y'all, I'm sorry for shortening you the videos, but carry on. Here we go. Got our forward clutch in there, our direct is below it, and we're getting ready to install the fourth clutch housing, which I kind of cut it off in the end of the video. This has probably got to be the worst piston assembly to get together. It really is. Even with the tools, you'll end up fighting it. And then, of course, we didn't have the tool that I could borrow for this to press it down. I didn't feel like waiting on it to get it from off of eBay or something like that. So I figured out another way to get this retaining ring in there, and it's in there and it's working. So basically we're just going to put it in the case. Alright, so we're just going to put this dude in there. This hole right here is the feed hole for the, and it's going to go at 6 o'clock in your case because it's going to line up right here with this hole. So, and it'll just basically drop in there. It is a snug fit, so if you get it a little bit off, it won't go right in, but there you go. And then just look down in your hole until you get your get the two holes lined up. And there you go. All right, now a little bag of goodies here. You got two bolts that we're going to talk about today, and I already got a hole in this, I know. Holding the camera, and I really wish I had I haven't been able to afford a GoPro yet, but that would be kind of nice in a situation like this, because that way you'd have a point of view. Alright, this bolt here is your center support bolt. This one here is your fourth clutch bolt. So your fourth clutch bolt just goes right in here, and then our center support bolt will go in right down here. Alright, now these are torqued. Sorry, got to see my hand. So I'm going to get you set up on the tripod and so you can see what I'm doing. Alright, so your center support bolt down here is a 12.38. So I'm just going to run that in. And yes, it will be tight. And the reason why is it kind of like cuts thread at the same time. That's the way it's designed, so it's super tight. Your fourth clutch bolt is a T40 Torx. So just run them in, and I'm going to go ahead and wrench the center support bolt in by hand. And to keep from busting my knuckles, see if I can find get an extension here. Alright, we're snug there. And the torque spec is on that. Bolt torque is on that is 32 foot-pounds. $32. There's that one. And then, okay, our fourth clutch bolt is 17 foot-pounds. So almost half of what we did the center support bolt at. Let's see. 17. I didn't like that. Yeah, I didn't like that at all. Ha. Well, never seen that before. The bolt broke. Good thing I got an extra one of them. Interesting. Double check that spec here. Yeah, 17 foot-pounds. Wonder if that bolt was just faulty. Well, I don't like the way that feels at all. Let's see where we're at. That's 10. $12. 15. Yeah, that's tight enough. It's not going to make it to 17. That spec may be wrong too. I'm going to have to look it up in GM, find out what it is. Alright, so we got that done. Now We've got our cooler line bolt, and it has a little O-ring on it right here, so we'll take it off and put a new one on there. Looks like that one right there. There we go. Alright, they should have given you, I don't see the retainers in there. Most of the time when they give you the rebuild kits, they'll give you the little clips for the lines too. Yep, here they are. Just in a different package. It's easier to put these dudes in now, so you can actually see what you're doing. There we go. Alright, put this one in. This is your rear one, so it goes down here in this hole. And that gets torqued to 26 foot-pounds. And that will be a 19 millimeter or 3/4. Just like that. Alright, now that you got that done and those two bolts done, you can put your overdrive or overrun clutch and input shaft in. Don't forget your bearing down there, by the way. Just like that. And so now we're ready for the fourth clutch. Okay, on your fourth clutch, I've already got one steel in here so I can show you, but you see that little notch right there? That goes up at the top, and the reason why is this gap right here is smaller than the rest of them. So just remember, your notch goes towards the top. So I got one in there, and of course just alternate it. And then you got your top plate, and you see it's got this big notch cut in it that goes over this pin right here, like that. Then your snap ring, of course, goes in the top, and that gap goes right where that big opening is. See if I can do this one-handed. Alright, being as we're not all the way around here, I want to catch this top one here. So we're going to slide this snap ring around, if it will slide. I might have to set you down. Alright, there we go. I got the snap ring all over over in that, against that, as far as I could go, so I'm good with that. So we need to find what our original washer was that was underneath there, and looks like we had a brown one, because we're going to replace that. That's your thrust washer. That's what sets your clearance. So there's a brown one. Looks to be about the same. Okay, so we're ready to put our washer. We've got our pump sitting here, and the washer goes right here. So we need to get some transgel to hold it in place. Couple good globs. Put that there. Then you want to lube up your surfaces. Lube up your bushings. Then we're going to find your gasket. And your gasket will be this big round one right here. And I don't know if y'all have seen my 4L60 video yet, but same thing on the pump. Just make sure all your holes line up. Your ones with the slits in it are usually your bolt retainers. Like that. Don't forget to lube up your Teflon bushings here. We're going to go ahead and lube this surface right there, and then lube up this surface. And this just can be a real thin coat. You just don't want it to be dry. And that bevel right there is important. Same thing with your seal right there. All right. Can't hang on to it and hang on to this pump, as this pump is heavy. Heavy. This should go in pretty easy. Look down your holes here. Look down your holes and make sure that you can see the bolt hole down in there. Of course, you don't have any lights, so you can't see it, but these two bolts go down at the bottom of the case, because that's where all your passages are for your trans fluid. It's close, but it's not quite there yet, so hang on. Okay, y'all, through a lot of trials and tribulations, we couldn't get the clearance right on the pump. Well, it wasn't a pump. What I found out is something that y'all ought to know. What I ended up doing is taking this thing completely back apart. Well, not completely. I took it down to the center support, or actually the direct clutch, which is right about here in the case. And what I did is I went ahead and applied air to the intermediate clutch right here. And what I noticed is when I did, it popped the direct clutch up in the air, which meant that even though it looked like it was seated, it wasn't all the way down in the very last clutch in the bottom of the case. So it was holding everything else up, and I couldn't get, and the clearance wasn't right. You know, now that everything's in there, I ended up switching bushings. I did have this tan one in there, and I put the green one, which is a little thicker, but as you can see, I can't hang on to this with my hand, but it turns nice and easy. So we're good as far as that's concerned. I just need to, I'm gonna get the washers for the bolts, get the pump torque down, and then that'll be it for the internals of the 4L80. So with that being said, I'm going to end it out off here today for this video. So if you liked what you've seen, please consider subscribing. Hit that notification bell so you get the latest videos when they pop up. Smash that like button, share, and comment. It would be greatly appreciated. Until next time, take care of yourself, take care of each other. God bless you, and we'll see you. Bye-bye.